When I first started my bulk, I honestly had no idea what I was doing. I didn't know how many calories I was eating, what macros were, or even where to start. All I knew was I wanted to gain weight in muscle, not fat. So I decided to go on a clean bulk, and let me tell you, it was hard, especially because I wasn't a big eater to begin with. Trying to eat over 2,000 calories a day while keeping it clean sounded impossible at first, so I took it slow. I started by increasing my calories by 100 to 200 at a time. I tracked my macros and made sure I was hitting over 100 grams of protein a day, eventually working up to 120 to 150 grams of protein. Carb was about 250 to 300 grams and fat was about 100 grams and below. This was a 1 year bulk and I gained about 15 pounds pretty quickly at the start. That was the most noticeable jump, then the rest of the bulk became more gradual. To hit my protein goals, I ate a lot of steak, especially sirloin since it's high in protein but lower in fat. Chicken breasts and tenderloins were on rotation every single week. I also had at least one protein bar a day and a protein shake at night before sleeping. I made sure to save the shake for later because it filled me up and I didn't want it ruining my appetite for the real food during the day. Carbs in general came from rice, bread, protein pasta, fruits, and even burgers sometimes. My fats mostly came from nuts and protein bars, ground beef, and whatever I cooked with. It's easy to be scared of fat, but fats are actually super important, especially for women. Not eating enough fats can mess with your hormones, and that's why learning to track macros helped me so much. It's not about avoiding fat or carbs, it's about knowing how much your body actually needs to function and grow. Even if it's healthy fats, too much can lead to excess fat gain, but too little can leave you feeling off, tired, and even affect your cycle. Despite not wanting to gain fat, it's kind of unavoidable when you're bulking. But going with a semi-clean bulk helped me avoid gaining too much too fast, so I didn't end up unsure how much of it was actually muscle. And I definitely didn't want to lose all that mass on the cut later on. I was super mindful not to gain too much unnecessary fat because I didn't want to deal with that extra weight during a cut. Bulking isn't just about eating a ton of food. If you want to gain lean mass, then understanding your macros and how they relate to your body weight is key. I cooked most of my meals at home and made sure I always paired my protein with carbs like rice, bread, or protein pasta. If I ate out, it was usually something high protein like all-you-can-eat Korean barbecue, sushi, and In-N-Out burgers. The biggest thing I learned is not what you eat, it's knowing the macros of what you're eating. I used the tracking app not to obsess over every number, but to make sure I was consistently eating in a surplus. Even with a clean bulk, there's still flexibility. The goal is still to eat more than you burn. And I know a lot of people like to watch what I eat in a day videos for inspiration, and I do too. But like I always say, it's not about copying what someone else eats to look the way they do. What works for one body doesn't always work for another. It's about learning your own numbers and building habits that fit your lifestyle and goals. Now that I'm cutting, I'm actually eating pretty much the same foods, just less.